for another virtual home tour. So, this is not your personal home. This is a home that you built, a spec home. Tell us a little bit about what this home is, what the purpose is, and the style of the home.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a spec home built by Christian Builders, which is actually my family. So my husband's grandfather started Christian Builders in the 70s. It's now third generation run. So his cousin Chad runs it. And they had called me and they said, "Hey, we know people love what you do. We want to bring you on board to design this spring parade of homes." So jumped on board with them. They had actually already picked the style of home, which is a rambler, and they already had a floor plan. And so right away I came in and I kind of adjusted the floor plan just to straighten some things out. There was an angled kitchen, there were some different angles in there, and I really just wanted straight sight lines. So that was the first piece of the puzzle.
When I was watching all the video footage of this home and comparing and thinking about your current home, I love that I can tell it's you. That I'm like, literally like, that's Anna. She did that. It has elements like your current home, but it's also different. So I don't even know how to describe how you did that. And so you call this European farmhouse.
Wait,
Yeah.
more than that. Tell us what you call it.
European organic modern
Yeah,
farmhouse.
and you did that. You executed that very well, but you also, it has a feel of who you are. And so I love that you pulled elements from your current home, but gave it a more palatable taste, maybe to the general public, since it's not your home. So tell us about that process and putting your own stamp on it, but also thinking about others since it's not your home.
Yeah. So my style is very Scandinavian, minimal, modern. And in building a spec home, I mean, you're designing for a very broad audience. So I knew that I couldn't use this typical Scandinavian design because it's such a small percent of the population that would potentially look it. And so I went with more of this like European farmhouse, which I threw the word organic in there because I knew I wanted it to just be really warm and just have a lot of natural textures, which so does Scandinavian design.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that it is modern, but it still feels cozy and homey.
Definitely cozy. And I feel like maybe that's what I'm sensing. Like when I look at this house and your old house, both have this very cozy but also simple feel where you feel like, okay, I can live like a simple life. Like I love the things that you do. You like clean your, I like copied the way you clean your counters with the Bonner's, Dr. Bonner's soap, and you're sewing your
Thank
son a banner for his birthday. And I'm like, I can do that in that house. I could be that person.
you.
I love that. So let's
Yeah.
start with the main area. Let's start with the living room and talk about the design process in that space specifically.
Yeah, so we did an open concept floor plan. It is a Rambler style home, which we were going to discuss what a Rambler
Oh,
is, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you think of like Texas terminology, so you'd take a ranch style home that is typically, one level on concrete. A rambler would be removing that concrete, digging a basement.
Okay.
So that's actually my personal home and then this spec home as well. So like a lot of main living is done on the first level, but then you have the lower level or the basement, which is a lot of times like your game room, your TV room. People in this area do saunas. The family that bought the home, they're going to do a gym and a sauna. So,
Wow.
Wow, it's a lot of what we would do on the second floor.
Yeah. Okay.
oh,
So the living room is open. I would say my favorite part of the living room is the fireplace. We've been seeing a lot of that feel where it kind of has that, um, I don't know, it's like an A shape and then
yes.
gets more straight. That's become a very popular style, but I feel like yours has a different spin on it. Can you tell us about, I mean, did you draw that?
I did. I did. I think where that came from is, in working with Chad, he's the owner, he was very specific. He didn't want to do built-ins on either side of the fireplace. And so for me, I just thought, okay, how can we make this wall super visually interesting and beautiful without built-ins? And so I knew it had to be that fireplace. So
Yeah.
just to do something different and just really keep the focal point on that.
Yeah. Well, I love it, and I love that it has the little inset on the ceiling to add interest, just a lot of character without a lot going on. I feel like that's hard to do. So,
Yeah, it's very, very simple. Really just sheetrock the entire fireplace. And then we did some Zalige tile, which is beautiful. I love that part of it.
yeah. So the kitchen, that was also another thing that intrigued me was I literally was going through your stories and I saw you doodled it like literally just with and it's simple with the hood and the cabinets and then that arch cabinet.
Yeah, that stopped my scroll.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even know it was you.
Oh,
It stopped my scroll.
thank you. Yeah, I picked up a pen, drew it on the back of the blueprints, and I'm like, okay, this is our kitchen. And I just brought it to our custom cabinet guy and worked with him. And he's like, yep, we can do this. And he's more like, I'll give him the vision. I've worked with him many times. This is our one, two, three, fourth house I've done with him. Two of our personal homes, a client, and then the spec home. So I'll bring him something and be like, this is my vision. And then he takes all the measurements and he'll be like, okay, this is how we can put your vision into real life. Did primary white with the wood uppers. And then really it's just the arches off to the side as a statement piece.
Yeah.
There's an arch in the fireplace, and so they kind of talk to each other across the room, and I love that.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of statement, I think that stopped my scroll, but what really felt honestly like it would resonate with you is the dining room. That light fixture and the ceiling treatment and the windows all across. I mean, is that your favorite space in the yeah.
That is my favorite space.
It's pretty dreamy. Tell us about designing the dining room.
Yeah. So when Christian Builders came to me, they had this four-season porch in the plan already, and there was a smaller area for a dining room. And we kind of came together, and I was like, let's just make this the dining room. So we designed it around, a table, being able to sit a family. And this home looks onto the golf course. So it's just like every meal, gathering space, coffee time, like you have the best view in the house.
I just think anytime that you can flood a room with light, especially if it's a dining room, you're going to win because there's just something about light pouring in while you're having breakfast and
Yeah.
a cup of coffee or dinner at night, the sunsets and the sunrises. I just love it.
Well, okay, that light fixture, do you have a link for that?
I don't. This was a piece. I found this probably a year ago and I put it in my garage. I had no idea what I was going to use for, but I knew I needed it because I loved it.
Yeah.
And then when I started designing this spec home and we started to do like the ceiling detail and I picked the paint, I was like, this needs to go in this room for sure. So it's a vintage piece.
Yeah, well, that's always
okay.
the case when when
Yeah.
we love something so much, it's always like secondhand or thrifted or vintage. And so you also did the primary bedroom in this house. Did you have any special elements or anything that you added when you were designing that space?
Yeah, so the primary bedroom, again, I just wanted light and bright. The whole home is one color. It's Sherwin-Williams alabaster, which it's funny because there's really mixed reviews on that color. But if you have enough light in a home, it's a beautiful, warm white. It's not yellow at all.
That's right.
It's so pretty. So wanted to keep it warm and bright in the primary. And really, it's very simple. No vault or box ceiling, just regular ceiling. We added some wall sconces on either side of the bed with their own switches. So when you go to bed, you have your own switch to shut off your light.
That's good. That's helpful.
So, what is your square footage on that house?
So it's a little bit under 2,200 square feet on the main level. And then once they finish the basement, it'll add about the same, maybe 2,000 square feet. So it's a good size house. It'll come out to be, there's 3 bedrooms up and 2 down. So 5 bedroom
Oh,
home.
Wow.
is the
Yeah.
bedroom on the main area the guest bedroom? Or, I mean, I guess it can be whatever they want it to be, but was that the intention or kind of the thought?
Yeah, so we designed the back bedroom as a guest bedroom, and then in the front of the home, there's a den. And then the second bedroom, I designed as like the woman's office. So it's kind of like the man's space and the woman's space.
Okay, cool. So let me,
Yeah.
I don't think I've saw like the offices and will we show that in the tour?
Yes, for sure. Yep. So right when you walk in the door is like your office or den, and it has one little window, and so I kind of designed it to be like this moody little space where the guy can sit down and read. And it's so funny because when the new owners came in, he's like, "That'll be my office," and she said, "Yep, we're gonna put your TV in there, and we're not gonna have a TV in the living room." And I was like, "Yes."
Okay, so what other rooms we've talked about? Living, kitchen, dining, laundry, office, bedroom.
Yes. We have a walk-in pantry.
Oh, were you inspired by your own pantry to?
For
Yeah.
sure. I will never leave a walk-in pantry ever again. So the walk-in pantry, there's an arch doorway, which again goes with the kitchen and the fireplace. And this was the first time that they have taken the microwave out of the kitchen and put it away. So I'm like, here we go. Now the coffee maker, the microwave, everything can be hidden back there.
Also, I wanted to ask you about the staging. Do you do your own staging or do you hire someone?
I did. I did my own staging. And when I signed on to design the home, that was kind of part of the initial conversation because I didn't want to create this home and then have someone else stage it and completely wipe out my vision. I wanted to stage it and see it fully through. And I think, when you say the home is different than yours, but it looks like your home, I think it's because I brought in those elements and I partnered with some local stores in the area and I hand selected pieces that I would put in my own home. I took a massive mirror off my wall and brought it into that house.
Oh,
And so there's a lot of me in that spec home for sure.
well, I loved watching your Instagram stories of you shopping and that you actually laid out the this is how I'm gonna set it up in the store. Like that was so fun to watch you. Like this will go by this and this will go by this. And so
Yes, they were so great. I went in, it was like a Tuesday and the store was closed. He's like, just come in, we're closed that day. And so he probably thought I was going to be in there like 30 minutes and I was in there like 4 hours just
oh,
arranging everything and like putting it in little groupings, but it went really great. So
yeah, it looks amazing. I saw that you did have some exterior renderings on your blog post. Did that play out the way that you wanted it to?
yeah, so I can say this overarching over the whole home is that yes, I was brought on as a designer, but I worked very close with the owner. So there were some things that he's like, I want to do it this way or I want to select X. And so we really worked together in the design process. And there were some decisions that I didn't make. And it was really a team effort. But the exterior of the home, again, this area is very much like we kind of have like a cabiny feel, I guess you could say, like a Northwoods stone, different colored homes, like red and green sometimes.
Okay.
Is that wild to you guys?
Yeah, a little bit, but I can
Yeah,
envision
but
it.
Christmas is my favorite. So red and
Okay. Yes. So we wanted to pull in that stone initially, and then with sourcing, it just wasn't working out. So we're like, okay, stone's not working out. Like, let's just scratch it. So we scratched the stone. We went with, we actually had vinyl and steel on the face of the home initially, and then the colors were just not matching. So we're like, let's scratch the vinyl, go full steel. I mean, building a home, as you know, even renovation, you just kind of have to fly with it sometimes and be willing to make changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
right
awesome.
now, just being able to like source materials and kind of revise, and sometimes it ends up being way better than the original. Anyways,
Yes, and it did. I'm so glad the full face of the house is steel board and batten. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah. And then, like you said, it's somehow difficult to get certain things. Building materials are hard to come by. So, and good contractors hard
yes,
to come by. But it sounds like you had a pretty easy process overall.
yeah.
Yeah, it was great. We were done start to finish. It was 4 months. So it went really fast.
Okay, it's taking me longer to do my chicken
To my bathroom.
That's
Oh my
incredible.
goodness.
Okay, well, maybe they can make Christian builders can make their own company, like branch out and have a
to
department
Texas.
in Dallas. That would
Yeah,
be
we've got a building project coming up. We need all the help we can get. Send
Yeah.
them our way.
Yes.
that's amazing.
It's amazing.
Okay, so any other tidbits about the home that you would love to share?
What I did, I created mood boards for this entire house. And anywhere I went, I would bring my computer and I just kept going back to the mood board because I wanted to naturally go back to what I gravitate towards. And I wanted to pick those things. And I always had to stop myself and be like, okay, no, this is where we're going with this house. And so I think if you can build something visually that you can constantly go back to, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
Um, the other challenging aspect for me was we were finishing our lower level at the same exact time as this house. So I'm like making all these selections for our home, and then I'd have to flip and make selections for this home. And it was like two completely separate spaces in my brain. It was a challenge.
Wow, girl, that's amazing. We still have to see your basement
Yeah.
all finished out. We haven't seen that yet. So
Yeah, it's getting there. We have one more electrical visit. We have a couple little plumbing tweaks to make, and then I can start decorating. So we're getting there.
Yeah,
It's
what we're
exciting.
excited to see. That's we don't have. I mean, nobody has basements because I guess our foundations would
maybe the clay soil.
clay soil or
Yeah.
something. So
And we need them because we're in Tornado Alley. But
So I'm always interested in a basement design. It's really
yeah,
cool.
it's neat.
Okay,
Yes.
so I planned to have some rapid fire question and answer at the end.
Okay.
So are you ready for?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay. So I don't want you to expand. I just want you to say, okay, favorite designer out of the three: Shay McGee, Joanna Gaines, Amber Interiors.
You don't want me to explain? This is really hard.
Okay, you can explain in 20 seconds or less.
Okay, Joanna Gaines.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
I want you
I
to
love
explain. Sorry.
her. Okay, sorry. I love who she is. I love what she represents. Shay doesn't really do that for me. Joanna. I love Amber interiors that she brings the vintage and the new and kind of is a collected feeling, but I just love Joanna as a person.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's her heart more than her style. And I love that about you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thrifted or new?
They have to go together.
Okay. Well, that was kind of why I wanted to ask that too, because you're so good at mixing. Okay. DIY or hired out?
DIY.
Okay. Do you have any other?
I'm a higher out girl. So
No,
I don't know.
I don't mean any other. Those were my 3 rapid fire.
What would be if you outside of your box? What would be the style that you would most? Is it this style that you would most love to design? If somebody said, "Hey, I have this,"
This is not rapid fire, but
I
I
have
would love
this
to know.
beach home, or where would you like to go? Would you like to go to Europe and design a home in Paris,
What's your dream?
a
home
chalet
design?
in
Wherever.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this dream that has been on my heart for so long to do. I mean, this is Minnesota's the land of 10,000 lakes. And so everyone is a lake person here. We fish, we boat, we go to the lake in the summer. And so I would love to do some just like really Scandi modern cabins.
Ooh.
Hey, we have an A-frame cabin lake a lakefront cabin that
Coming
we're
up.
touring soon. So
Yeah.
maybe that can be a little inspiration for your. It's a little Scandi, don't you think?
Yeah, it's modern, simple, clean lines. But it's my dream, if anyone out there would like to hire me, to do a beach bungalow, and I'll take a lot of time on that. So you'll need to schedule months on end. But that's my dream.
To stay at the house,
Yes.
not even to design, just to stay there. Well, it'll once it's all finished, it'll take a couple weeks to get the pillows.
Yes.
So, okay, well, that was cool. That was what I loved I really did love your answer about the designers. That was like totally shows your personality and who you are, and like kind of it's more of the intent and
The heart.
the heart behind it
Yeah.
than just the.
That's why we love you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try to bring that out in my Instagram account because I feel like home and designing is one thing, but then there's just this like depth of home, and
Mm-hmm.
home is such like a deep conversation, and I just pair them together because I feel like they can't be separated.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
we agree.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell them where's the best place to follow you, find you. You have a full blog post about the home, and so tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, so our website is callitchristian.com. You can find the blog posts there. I'll be adding a few more with links to everything in the spec home as well. You can shop it. And then I'm most active on Instagram, which the handle is call.it.christian.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have all the links in the description and in a pinned comment to make it very easy. And so we'll be able to just click it and head straight to Anna. And you really do want to follow her on Instagram because I really like even watching you sew that banner yesterday. I really thought I can sew a banner. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to, but I love that the intent too is like I'm not gonna buy something paper and then throw it away. I'm gonna make something and it'll keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
Memories. It's not even only about being economical and not wasteful, but also like, oh, this is a memory. Mom pulls this out when it's party time, and that's
Yeah.
Good.
it's just so good.
Oh, thank you. That literally just dawned on me yesterday. I was like ready to run to Target. And I'm like, why do I do this 5 times a year? Like we run to Target and buy balloons and paper and all the things. And I'm like, no, I want a birthday banner or like a collection of them that we can just go through and pull one out for a birthday. So
So sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we loved having this time together again. And everybody go and follow Anna.
Yeah, and like and subscribe and go and see. The next video that I'm going to put in the little cards is going to be her personal home, and it'll be really fun to compare both. So even if you've seen that one, go back and watch it, kind of check it out and see what you think and if you can sense her style. So,
All right.
have a good day, guys.
Bye.
fun. Thank you.